Okay, this is a regularly scheduled meeting of for August, was this August 13th, 2020 of the Houston Land Bank. It is 12:03 p.m. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. We will start with roll call. Director Castillo.
Present.
Director Collins.
Here.
Director DeAnda.
Present. I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Thank you. Director Galloway.
Oh, present.
Thank you. Director Hall. Don't believe he's here yet. Director Jackson. Don't believe she's here either. Director Johnson Rose.
Present.
Director Lampley.
Present.
Director Mondragon.
Present.
Director Stoneham. She is present, but she looks busy. Director Vasquez.
Present.
And Director Vignot.
Here.
And Director Zeiss is present. From our advisory board, Director Foreign. Yeah.
Present. Nope.
Thank you. Director Marquez. Where'd Director Marquez go? He was present earlier. He may have dropped off. Director Williams.
Present.
And Director Zale.
Present.
Thank you. Well, it looks like we have a quorum. Moving forward. Item number 2, public speakers. Therese, would you?
Yes, we had a public speaker that signed up by the name of Angela Frederick. Are you on the line? Hello, is Angela Frederick present? Okay, we'll move on to our second public speaker, Victor Sweet. Are you present?
I am here.
Yes, how are you?
Great.
Yes, so we are allocating 3 minutes for each public speaker. You can go ahead, thank you.
My name is Victor Sweet. My mother-in-law has lived at 7918 Foley Street for over 50 years. Her daughter, she raised a daughter there. I married her daughter, Cassandra Sweet. And the land that's located at 7914 Foley Street, because we were interested in actually moving away and buying a house, my wife wanted to take care of her mother now that she's up in age. And we were interested in purchasing the property at 7914 Foley Street so we can build a house there to be able to stay close to her mother instead of going out and purchasing a home that's far away from her and have to drive back and forth. Thank you.
And thank you for your comment. I believe we have your contact information, and we will have staff reach out to you to describe the programs that we have available. We do not have a current program where members of the public can buy property, but we have programs where builders can purchase property. So we will follow up with you directly.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sweet.
I have a question for Mr. Sweet. I'm sorry. What area is Foley Street on? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that.
This is off of 610 and North Wayside in Northeast Houston.
Okay. City Gas.
City Gas.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and our third speaker is Akbar. Last name starts with an S. I don't want to mess it up. Is Akbar present on the line?
I'm here. It's Akbar Sinesra.
Okay.
I hope everyone's doing well. So I'm interested in this property near Galena Park. However, there's no program created for it yet. And the parcel number for that property is 0141009003007. And I was wondering, how do I create a program, or do you guys do that?
Thank you very much for your interest. We do have, and actually this is for Mr. Sweet as well, some information online about our different programs, but we have your contact information. We'll follow up directly about the parcel that you mentioned and the ways in which you may be able to find access to the land. We do not currently have a program where members of the public can purchase property, but we can talk to you about the different ways that that may be possible.
And how long will that be?
We will follow up with you. Today's Thursday, between today and tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
That was the last public comment.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 3, we have swearing in of 2 advisory board members, Mr. Vincent Marquez and Ms. Kellen Zale. Gracie, would you please proceed?
Trying to unmute my button here. Okay, so if I could have the 2 advisory board members raise their right hand and then repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Vincent Marquez,
I, Kellen Zell,
Do solemnly swear
do
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office
I will faithfully execute the office
the office
of an advisory board member of the Houston Land Bank,
of an advisory board member of the Houston Land Bank,
and to the best of my ability
and to the best of my ability
will preserve, protect, and defend this office
will preserve, protect, and defend this office
and the laws of the state of Texas
and the laws of the state of Texas
and the Constitution of the United States.
and the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome, guys.
Thank you.
And do you want to just let them know we'll go ahead and notarize their documentation at a later date? So,
Yes. And in fact, for many of the board members, both current, new, and returning, we will likely have a few forms to fill out and do some notarization of particular forms in the next month or so. So we'll get sort of a full suite of things taken care of. So thank you very much. And this has been recorded. So we have witnesses to all of the swearings in.
Thank you very much. Okay, item number 4, adoption of the minutes from the July 29th meeting. Do we have a motion?
Motion to adopt the minutes from Director Castillo.
Second, Director Mondragon.
Thank you. We have a properly motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 5, Chairman's greeting. Well, thank you all for being here again. I know this is a worthy cause that we all volunteer for and we're all driven towards, and I just really appreciate all of your time and all of your efforts to make this organization work. To that end, we are honing in on our strategic planning for this year. This is a exciting exercise that we need to go through that allows us to look at ourselves as board members, as a board as a whole, and as an organization of what we do and what our goals are. we're going to send out a doodle, but I want to save the dates of September 11th and September 25th for board members to attend 2 sessions that we'll be looking through strategies and new implementation of programs, just kind of looking at who we are as an organization and where we're going. This is a unique opportunity right now, or unique time right now. So there will be some homework before the sessions to try to minimize the amount of time we're on Zoom, because it's not going to be an in-person strategy planning session like they usually are. But I hope that everybody will participate, and I look forward to hearing all of your opinions and suggestions and for the coming year. I believe that's all the comments I have today for,
Matt,
yes.
Carol Galloway, if I heard you correctly, you said September the 11th?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a special day for me this year. And I'm sorry, my family had plans for me. I'll be 80 years old on September 11th.
Oh my
I'll
goodness.
be able to participate because they made some plans for my big 80.
Okay. Okay.
I think we just should reserve that date and we'll all go to her celebration.
Sounds like a great idea to me.
Sounds like a national holiday.
Yes, it's gonna be.
Congratulations. This is exciting. I do want to come to the party though. Jeez.
I really do want to go. I'm serious.
So I'm sorry. I'm out. I can't. So whatever I can do prior to or afterwards is fine. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Director Galloway. Well, I'll give you a call later today or tomorrow, and let's talk about some options. Because I do want you involved. I believe that I definitely want you involved.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So that concludes my comments. We'll move next to committee reports. Finance Committee. We did meet last week. We reviewed the profit and loss and the balance sheet, which you can see in your board packets. We also talked about the status of the invoices for operations and for the New Home Development Program properties, and I'm happy to report that we are caught up completely. I want to thank Gonzalo and Conchita for their efforts in getting those invoices caught up and making sure our cash flow stays where it needs to be. So thank you guys very much for that. Our annual audit is underway. No issues yet. We don't expect any. But it is on schedule. And also the sales tax project is now complete. Gonzalo really took the reins on that and made sure that all the vendors that we're paying, because we are tax exempt, we're not paying sales tax as well. So that saves us a significant amount of money. So thank you for your efforts in that. That completes my report. Program Committee, Mr. Director Lampley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Program Committee met on July the 30th. The committee received and reviewed, considered updates from staff on active builders' requests for changes and clarifications to existing contracts. There were no major issues for board review or approval. Under our Housing Initiative Round 1 lot disposition program, all closings from contracts awarded in June are on track for completion this month, unless there's some hiccups along the way. On Round 2 Housing Initiative Lot Disposition Program, applications period has closed for our second round. Staff members, Harris, Zapata, Butler, and myself will review proposals submitted from the builders for scoring and recommendations from the committee to the board for consideration and approval. We're going to do our best for the September 10th board meeting. We'll get a summary of the round 2 submittals. There were 8 builders that submitted in round 2. That was a total of 38 lots in the program. Of those 38, 17 of the lots were bid on, and proposals for review total 26 proposals. Under a different program, the committee is in the process of finalizing a review of a suspended program, which is called a right of first refusal, a program that allows adjacent property owners to request purchase of an adjacent land bank lot if certain conditions are met by the adjacent property owner. The program was mostly utilized by faith-based organizations that requested the property for use and extension of parking or other ancillary uses. The property is usually an odd-shaped lot that is not suitable for our traditional housing program. We're close to finalizing new terms for the program, eligibility requirements for the program, and even have a suggested name change to be unconventional land use program. So the committee's goal is to submit a draft to the board for review prior to submitting it for board action. Again, I'm not promising, but we're trying to be on target for September. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Director Lampley. I know that's a lot of work, and we really appreciate it. Director Castillo, the Oversight Committee.
Thank you, Chair. The Oversight Committee has been holding weekly sessions to review the draft policies and procedures document. I'm happy to report that we have completed the review of all the sections. And moving forward, the process will look like this. So in 2 weeks, we'll hold a workshop for board members. And this will allow board members who maybe weren't able to participate in the workshops prior, or new board members who just joined us, to review the document and the changes and propose any final suggestions. That draft version with all compiled changes will be sent out to everyone before the weekend. So we will have ample time to review it before our workshop on the 27th. And then after that, there will be an additional 2 weeks before the draft document is brought before the full board for adoption. So we will give everyone a month to really spend as much time as you'd like with this, participate and give feedback if needed before it comes to everyone for a vote. Other than that, that's really been the sole focus of our committee recently. So that'll conclude my report unless there are any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Castillo. I know that was a large task, monumental task, and I appreciate your steady hand in that, and then the staff as well. I know that's been a lot of language to chew through. So thank you. Item number 7, the President's report. President Haynes.
My mute's back off. Now I'm on. I actually wanted to introduce something that was in the President's report that I believe you all saw, but I think is more graphically pleasing than looking at me while I drone on here. Let's start with this. Working on ways that we can better communicate all the amazing activity of the staff of the Houston Land Bank. It has been yet another busy month, as every month is, and I think especially through our growth period of 2019-20, hitting the ground running in July, which is the first of our new fiscal year. I really wanted to emphasize that, you know, a lot happens every month, and it without sort of now sitting in our living rooms with us, and you've seen photographs of us kind of working remotely, there's a lot that goes on every month. And certainly we'd like to be able to provide you with not just the sort of high level stats, but also the stories behind much of the work that we do. This is an attempt to start looking at what a dashboard might look like for following the progress of the organization, and certainly trying to figure out how to kind of provide some of the background context and the stories to these numbers. But I don't think you know that staff spends a lot of time per month working with home buyers, either through the new home development program or people who call looking for housing through our home builder initiative. And touches means not just sort of sending them in a particular direction with a resource, but ultimately following up on questions with utilities for the new home development program, making sure that they're getting their documentation together for their qualifications at HCDD. These are really important touches to us because these are, at the end result, the receivers of the properties that we're developing, and making sure that we're doing right by neighborhoods and families and people that really are deserving of and are able to get an affordable home. We did have a number of transactions this month between lots sold, as Director Lampley mentioned, in terms of our standard home builder initiative. We've, I think, closed on 10, and the other 3 are about to close this week before the end of the month, for the first 13 sold in the new program. We sold 3 houses through our builders, with a few more coming up in August. And then we still have about 53 properties in development. We sold 2 new home development programs these are July stats, but in August we are under contract, should be closing on 1 tomorrow, and a few more this month. Until we receive about 4 or 5 more homes from the housing department, we're actually nearly out of inventory, which is an amazing place to be. Working with our listing brokers, we've really had a steady stream of sales throughout the year. I don't know if you've ever calculated this, but on a monthly basis, we are cleaning and cutting over 51 acres of land through all of our lots throughout the city. I believe we have a total of about 70 acres of lots, but many of them, especially the ones in Setagast, are without infrastructure and without the ability to get on and clean those lots. They're heavily forested. And just for comparison's sake, Herman Park is about 450 acres. So we do have a significant amount of space scattered throughout the city. We'll be hearing more about this later when we do an acquisitions and property inventory update. But last month, we were able to get under contract with a fairly large parcel near Northside that we're doing the feasibility currently on, which allows us, working with the city and their new home development program, potentially to facilitate 60 to 75 new homes. We have received, based on the great work of Gonzalo and Cachita, our finance department, received reimbursements for $400,000 worth of invoices for 10 new home development program sales in the past few months, and then the 7 initial lots. Again, this sort of regular cash flow is important to us to be able to maintain and continue our work, day-to-day work. And we also received through a couple of different proposals, both new builders that are, builders that would like to purchase lots from us, as well as some requests for qualifications we have on the ground. We have about 44 proposals and qualifications that staff and board members are reviewing. So this is quite a picture of quite a busy month. And I think as we trend month to month, wanting to hear from you the kind of information that is most valuable for you to understand our progress, and certainly the sort of day-to-day effort of the staff. Just a few additional highlights. I think that as Mario said, Director Castillo, excuse me, with the Policies and Procedures Working Group, this has been critical because as dry as 50 pages of text of policies might be at some points, it is important because it's kind of the baseline for how we operate as an organization. And we really appreciate all of your time supporting that. And this will, of course, parallel with some of the really important work around strategic planning, where we can look at not just the next year, the next 2 years, sort of our immediate future, but really the longer term activities of the Houston Land Bank and how we can continue to be a great partner to the city, the county, HISD, and a variety of entities in the affordable housing ecosystem. We do have a couple of procurements I wanted to flag. The title company services RFQ closed on July 24th, and we are currently reviewing the proposal we received for that. We obviously have, as you can see, a number of transactions per month and want to be working with an organization and a title company that we can sort of have great customer service and continued effort, streamlined effort. We also received qualifications responses for the planning services general pool of qualified planning firms, as well as RFP responses for the Setagast neighborhood specific planning initiative. We are currently in the process of reviewing those. Quite exciting to see the breadth of firms that did want to work with us, continue to want to work with us. I think there were so many great committee updates. That is the majority of my report. Just basics, we have approximately 544 properties in our inventory currently. Approximately 222 of those are holding for housing in various states of either early development or holding. We, just as a refresher, we sold 59 homes in 2019 calendar year. We've actually sold to date through July 18 homes through our traditional builders program, and 53 are under development. New home development program totals, 30 houses have been sold to date since the initiation of the program. 4 are currently under contract scheduled to close, including 1 tomorrow, and 5 are listed for sale. Although we've just accepted, I think, at least 2 to 3 other contracts. So in fact, we have very few left in the inventory. And we do expect about 5 homes by the end of August in 2020 this year in Acres Home. A builder, a new builder for the NHDB program has broken ground on some phases of the program, 14 plus 8, which is not doing the math quickly, 22 properties that will be under development this fall. So we continue, we will be sending you all, and again, you'll receive the policies and procedures draft. You will also receive our RFQ for builders for a review. This is similar to the RFQ we did last year, and we have promised the builders community that we will be looking for builders annually to join the pool of builders that will be eligible to purchase lots. This is a process that we work very closely with the program committee on. We want you to take a look at the guidelines and the RFQ document before it is listed publicly. And with that, you'll see the timeline by which we will review and add builders to our program, ideally before the next round of lots are being released. And so I think that concludes my report.
Thank you, President Haynes. Are there any questions from the board members? No, hearing none. Moving on. Item number 8, we have board action items. 8A, consideration and possible action to elect a board treasurer. As you know, I was a former board treasurer and I can't and don't want to serve in both roles at the same time. So we need a new board treasurer. Go ahead and open up the nominations. Are there any nominations for board treasurer?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to nominate Director Vignog for board treasurer.
Thank you, Director Castillo. Any further nominations? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and close nominations. The item on the agenda is, actually we'll take item 8A and 8B together. Is for the nomination for the election of Director Vignog to treasurer. Is there a motion?
Am I allowed to make a motion? I don't think I can vote.
I don't think you are now, sorry.
That's fine. I
just
did
have-
an honorary one.
Yes, thank you.
I just have a question.
Of course.
Director Vignog, willing to serve?
Absolutely.
All right, okay.
A very important question.
You're right. No, I am thrilled to be nominated and would be very happy and proud to serve the board.
All right, I'll cast my vote in your favor.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, would you kindly repeat what the motion is on the table at this time?
I'm looking for a motion. There is no motion on the table at this time. We've nominated Director Vignog, and I'm looking for a motion to confirm that nomination.
Okay, I just.
I'd be happy to move to confirm that nomination. This is Director Mondragon.
Second that motion.
Okay, question?
I think we have a motion from Director Mondragon, and I heard Director Galloway and Director Johnson Rose, but I'm not sure if I got a second.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is Courtney doing the second.
Thank you, Director Johnson Rose. So we have a motion made by Director Mondragon and seconded by Director Johnson Rose. Any further discussion or questions?
Yes, I was question, are we going to combine for A and B, the motion, the one motion?
So I believe Director Galloway's question is
A and B, that's all. I was just trying to get clarification.
That's what I needed clarification on as well, Mr. Chairman. You stated that you wanted to
The
take.
motion is for item A and B. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. Right. That's what he wanted to do, so I'm trying to get clarification. I want to make sure the motion was for A and B.
Yes, ma'am. Director Mondragon, was your motion for items A and B?
That's correct. Motion made for item A and B. That's correct.
And Director Johnson Rose, you continue your second?
Correct.
Okay. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. All right.
thank you, Director Vignoff, for volunteering to serve in additional capacity. We appreciate your effort and look
Thank
forward
you very much. Look forward to working closely with you, Matt, and the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, item 8C, consideration of possible action to direct staff to engage with Center for Community Progress. This item we had on last month's agenda. We postponed to allow board members to garner more information from the Center for Community Progress, and we had a call with them last week with Matt Kreis. And so I think that answered some of the questions about what capacity they serve in.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
I think Ms. Jackson's on the phone. She says she's muted.
Who is?
Tony Jackson.
Oh, Director Jackson?
She says she's been on the phone, but she's muted.
Okay. Mary, can we see if Director Jackson can come into the meeting, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Well, we can wait. You know which number she's calling in from? I only see 2 phone numbers on it.
I guess it's her phone. I don't know. She just.
I believe it's a 3443 number.
3443. Yes, she should be on now.
Okay.
And Mr. Chair, I have been on since the beginning, and I've been trying to get in touch with someone to I answered the role, and I tried to make a motion. So I've been on since the beginning of the meeting.
Okay. So, Gracie, how do we handle that now?
Well, it depends on the board member. Ms. Jackson, is there a particular issue that you would like for us to reconsider?
No, I'm fine. I just want to make certain I'm marked as present. This has happened before when I was marked as absent when I've been on the phone. So I'm just trying to make certain that I am marked as present and letting it be known that I have been on since before the meeting started and have tried to indicate my presence.
Okay. I think we've got that recorded.
Thank you. And thank you, Director Collins, for letting us know.
Sure, no problem.
So we're looking for a motion on item 8C for Center for Community Progress.
I'll make a motion to approve item 8C.
Thank you, Director Castillo. Do we have a second?
Second, Director Deanna.
Thank you. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed. Lampley.
Thank you, Director Lampley.
I abstain.
Thank you, Director Collins, for abstention. Any further? Sorry, Director Galloway abstains. Okay, motion carries. Item number 8D, consideration and possible action on the approval of contracts for legal services for 3 firms with not to exceed contracts. President Haynes, do you want to brief us on this item?
Oh, I'm not muted. I believe that Doris Harris, our in-house counsel who has been managing the process, will be introducing this.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ann. So we submitted a brief board memo regarding the matter, and this is consideration and possible action to approve on-call contracts for legal services for 3 firms for 2 years with the possibility of 1-year extension, including fiscal year 2021 maximum funding as follows. Wednesday PC with Law Office of Gracie, forgive me, Saez LLC, at the amount of 110, Cushion Blackwell at the amount of $54,000 and law offices of Marijuana Bush Williams LLC at the amount of $47,000. Approval of this item will authorize awarding of on-call contracts for legal services to 3 firms, including HLB's present legal services provider.
Therese, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but could you move closer to the microphone? It's difficult to hear.
Oh, my apologies.
Thank you.
Let me see if I can.
Mr. Chairman, before we go on, this is Courtney. Is it appropriate for our legal counsel to be on the line as we have this discussion about her contract?
I'll be glad.
Courtney, because we're not in executive session, it's not a problem because it's being done in public session. If there are specific terms that are being discussed, those shouldn't be discussed in public session. They should be discussed in executive session, and she wouldn't be in there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Jackson.
If there is a need to go into an executive session, we just need to let that be known and go into an executive session. And I can bow out if you need further discussion in private.
Thank you. And we made that in the discussion period.
Yeah, if there's going to be specifics about the contract, then that should be the case.
Yes, I would like to motion for us to take the item into closed session because I do have a couple of questions I would like to ask, and I would prefer to do it in closed session.
Okay, so we have a request from Director Galloway to move to executive session regarding this item. So Mary, would you please put the board members into breakout session?
And Chairman, I have a question. We're going into executive session, is that correct?
We are later for the, actually right after this. We can start the executive session for this item and for.
Okay, so okay, and that's what only items left.
Executive session early.
And just a quick note on the logistics. We have been testing the breakout room function so that the board members, currently the board members as well as legal team and those staff involved in the executive session issues will be going into a breakout room. So in particular, because we will be, and the main room will stay open for the public, and Mary will be here to monitor the public room. When we do that, however, given that we're going to be going in on this particular item, the legal team, which are the 2 representatives from Winstead and the law office and Gracie Signs, may have to leave the breakout room to go back into the public session manually, because this is the way we had done the preset for the breakout rooms. So,
and under the preset, even though it's preset, you can manually take them out of the breakout room. That's not a problem. It's just a matter of you manually taking them out of the breakout room.
Yes, and I am asking Mary on the phone. Mary will be managing that. So Mary, when you select the breakout session, please remove Winstead and Gracie Signs. And also those of you who called in by phone may not automatically go into the breakout room, so we may have to manually add you. Again, there was no function being able to add phone numbers. So we'll do our best to get the right group in the session.
Okay, can I go ahead and pause the recording?
Yes.
I had trouble coming into the Zoom earlier, and that's why I dialed in. So I'll try again to see if I can come in on the Zoom.
And second it, was there a vote?
There was a motion made by Director Galloway.
Okay.
I do need a second.
Second, Lampley.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of moving to executive session?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The recording has started.
Okay, thank you. Welcome back to the public session. Just want to make sure we have a quorum before we move forward. And we do have a quorum. Okay, moving on. So item number, where are we? 8D is under consideration. Is there a motion?
So I was on mute. I move to approve item 8C.
So I believe there were some amendments to the motion that we were in the executive session that we talked about. Can we?
Oh, yes, I apologize. Let me
So I believe,
that motion.
I believe we, in the executive session, we talked about changing the language from the word possibility of a 1-year extension to the option of a 1-year extension.
Yes.
And we also changed the language for all 3 contracts to be considered together and not to exceed the budget amount of 211,000. Thank you.
Second.
So that motion probably made by Director Mondragon, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Probably seconded by Director Collins. Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9B.
I was trying to get my computer on unmute. With no total, the minute should have with no total listing, and only be for budget. We didn't say about, see, it originally had amount total in each one, that was removed.
Yes.
Just for it to
Correct.
be saved. Okay,
So it was just a total amount to match the budget for the fiscal year for all 3 legal services.
right,
Yes, ma'am. That was the motion made and passed.
okay.
Thank you. Item number 9B, consideration of possible action of approval and exchange of real estate between Houston Land Bank and Houston Habitat for Humanity. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Director Gallery, seconded by Director Lampley. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9C, consideration of possible action to purchase the 3 properties totaling 20,015 square feet from Catholic Charities Development Corporation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved
Second.
by Director Lampley, second by Director
I'll take
Vietnam.
second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, just wanted to clarify who seconded that motion. I'm sorry.
Director Vietnam.
Okay.
Abstain.
Any opposed?
I abstain.
Director Collins
Abstain.
abstains. Director Galloway abstains. Hearing no others, motion carried.
There was another abstention. Someone else said abstain.
I heard Director Collins and Director Galloway abstained.
Okay.
Hearing none others, motion carries. Item number 10, board member comments.
Done.
None?
The only comment I have, Mr. Chairman, is the date of the strategic planning.
Yes, sir.
It's taxing us that week quite a bit. We have 2 days of meetings and a board meeting that's on the 10th.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and I consider those and Director Galloway's birthday, which is more important than all of the others. Okay, I picked those dates because they were the dates that I thought we'd get the strategic planning earliest. I thought we'd get the strategic planning launched, and I didn't want to delay any further into the year. I think we'll have to have some offline discussions about scheduling, and we'll talk amongst ourselves and see what works best for everybody. But they aren't set in stone. But I would like to start strategic planning earlier rather than later, and I want to get some things set up, some surveys, and some information to the board before we start moving into those sessions to make sure that we maximize everybody's time. So let's have a conversations about those this week, and we'll round back to that.
I have a comment as well. It's more of a question, and it's regards to the public comments that were given earlier in the meeting. I think Ann said that there wasn't a program for direct public sales, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
And I mean, you don't have to answer the question now, but maybe if you could, I just wanted to know why there wasn't a program like that. But like I said, you don't have to answer it right now. It was just kind of a question that I had in my mind.
Well, I think it's actually a perfect question and or discussion during strategic planning as we start thinking about the types of programs and strategies we have to get to our overall goals, which is affordable housing or otherwise. And of course, the foundation and history of LARA has a sort of a dual goal of the affordable housing, as well as making sure to put properties back on the tax rolls. And I think there was a lot of history, I think, that led up to the 2017 when we suspended the right of first refusal program. But certainly strategic planning is a time to be looking at all of our programs and how we would like to get to our ultimate goals. So I think it's a perfect question. We will follow up with the two people that requested. We've generally directed people towards our builders who are in the program. So certainly a builder could make a proposal on that lot if they've lined up a potential home buyer. So there are other ways that people can participate, but just not direct sales yet. And that's really up to you all to make that determination.
Can I also make a request as it relates to the strategic planning? And I realize I'm the new kid on the block, but I have to admit during the week is really a challenge for me, even though it's on a Friday. Could there be some consideration to holding it on a Saturday maybe? I don't know if that's an option, but it would certainly help me. My days are usually back to back and Fridays are no exception.
Yeah, we were planning to do a doodle poll about time blocks within the Friday sessions, but absolutely could look at what's the majority of people's availability for a Saturday session. And it was intended right now, this will be facilitated by an expert in the strategic planning type of efforts. So we hope it's going to be really an efficiently moving process. And we believe it's about a 2-hour block that we're looking at right now, but we haven't finalized the agenda. And we absolutely respect all of your time. And the fact that you do have busy days makes you even better. But at the same time, we understand that it's an important time to kind of dig into building the foundation for the next few years. So thank you for your input.
Thank you. Not hearing any further comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Director Lampley, seconded by Director Vignot. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you all.
Motion carries. Thank you all for attending this marathon meeting.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Bye,
Great
everybody.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.